Welcome to another episode of Brand Lincoln, where we take a look around the Lincoln, Nebraska area and introduce you to business owners and influential people in the city. We are brought to you by Perch Merch. Perch Merch is a locally owned, custom screen printing and embroidery apparel shop that also specializes in vehicle wraps, decals, and all sorts of promotional products. If your business, school, or team is looking to expand your brand, head to perch-merch.com or call us at 402-217-5212.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Brand Lincoln. I am your host, Chris Beecham. I'm joined by my co-host, Henry Schmidt.
Hey Chris, how's it going today?
Wait a minute.
Where the hell is Henry?
That sounds different.
That's how he sounds like. Hey Chris, how's it going?
He actually does sound like that, though.
That's great. Well, Henry is actually on his bachelor party, so apparently that's where his priorities lie this week. So we're going to go ahead and have Michelle Mower step in for him today. She's actually, I would call her a sales rep here at Perch Merch, but her official title is Head Handshaker.
Definitely head handshaker.
So, hi, Michelle. Thanks
Hi.
for being here. And then our producer, Joe Cruz.
Hello, everyone.
Before we introduce our guest, just want to remind everybody to please subscribe or follow on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook at Brand Lincoln Podcast. So today in the Perch Merch studio is Laurie Ann, who owns Country Sliced Ham, which is located at 6900 O Street or Meridian Park.
Yep.
She also owns Doorstep Diner, which is all over, so we'll get to that. But hi, Laurie.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I am fine.
Okay. I am very familiar with Country Sliced Ham.
Oh, good.
But tell us, for those who don't know, let's start with Country Sliced Ham. What is that?
So Country Sliced Ham and Café has been around since 1985 in Meridian Park, same location. We are the fourth custodians or caretakers of the business. So it started by a woman whose family owned a hog farm. So they got into the ham business and was passed on to the next people. They decided to retire. So I bought it in 2020 in March. So think back, what was happening?
Yeah, wow.
Perfect
That's
timing.
perfect timing, yes.
But I will tell you, it saved our souls because as extroverts, we were shut down on the catering side, but we could still operate takeout out of the restaurant. So we moved most of our operations over there so we could see people.
Oh, wow.
And it just was amazing. We love that little operation. We are super happy with our signature product of Country Sliced Ham. The little cafe has a brand new menu. Prior to owning it, people said, it's a great place to get a sandwich you can get at home. Well, that's something to be known for. So we ripped apart the menu, and we've got some signature series sandwiches that are all of our own creations. We introduced a create your own salad with over 35 toppings. You come in, you check off boxes. Our highly trained lettuce-ticians will make your salad for you. They've got countless hours of training.
She just say that?
Yeah.
A lettuce-tician.
Or saladologist. I kind of
got it.
interchange them. But yeah, they'll make a salad for you. We pride ourselves on cooking from scratch and really fresh ingredients. So it is kind of a little sleepy place. It's a hidden gem in Lincoln. We basically are a lunch counter. You come in between 10 and 2:30, you get what you need, and hopefully you're super happy and you love it.
Okay. What about Doorstep Diner then?
Okay, that is my kingpin operation. It is a whole different animal from running a restaurant. I tell people if I knew back then what I know now, I probably would have stayed on the catering side because I love and adore the catering side. I'm working with massive groups. And I like to tell my clients, I get to go to all the parties and I work. But I love it because we're there to help people celebrate life's special moments. A wedding, celebration of life, a birthday, employee recognition, volunteer appreciation. We get to be there for all of those super incredible moments. We believe that you build community by breaking bread. We believe that you create relationships over food. And so that is really our kind of mantra and our guideline when we're working with clients is you have a vision of what you want to do. I'm going to make your vision come true. It's going to be stress-free. And I tell them, we're going to make you the hostess with the mostest. So you don't have to worry about anything because we're going to do all the heavy lifting.
I'm sold. So
Good. All right.
Let's go. I'm hungry
retainer
now.
of $3 million, and I got you going.
Got it. Joe, you can take care of that.
Will you take a check? Don't cash it till at the end of the month.
If it's from Michelle, maybe.
Hey.
So do these two run together?
They do.
So they were already part of Country Sliced Ham?
No,
Nope,
our
just kidding.
intent when we bought Country Sliced Ham was to run it as a separate operation with kind of silent ownership so people wouldn't know that we had both. When COVID hit us, that became impossible. We had to merge them together. And that brought on a whole nother set of challenges because we really wanted to separate the brands. We offer discount catering out of Country Sliced Ham. We didn't want our doorstep clients to be migrating over to a lower price point. For those of you listening, don't do it. All of the big food is produced out of our commercial kitchen. You're getting the same quality. It's just a different service level is really kind of how we explain it. But yeah, we were unable to really separate them in the way we envisioned. So they do have common ownership. The food comes out of the same kitchen. We do cook some things on site at the little ham store, as we call it, or the hamster. One of those two.
Got names for everything.
We do. Yeah, Country Sliced Ham and Café is a very long name. And we chose to keep that name because it had been branded that way for so long. So we kept that name just because our clientele for hams tends to skew a little bit older. We didn't want them to have difficulty finding us. So we kept that. If I could go back and do it differently, I probably would have co-branded them the same. But you learn lots of lessons after you get into it. And I'm not going to go back and change it now because I'm really lazy. Not going to happen.
Fair enough. How long has Doorstep Diner been around then?
2015. So we're going into our 10th year next year.
Oh, wow,
Okay.
congratulations.
Yeah, we're super excited.
So you started that?
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
So then let's get in the history of you then.
All right. So in 2014, I went through a separation, and I found myself thinking I was going to die alone on my floor, and the postman would find me, and the cats were going to eat my face. And so,
Oh,
in a
no.
moment of desperation, I turned to online dating. And I put up a dating profile in 10 minutes after a couple glasses of wine. It was very well written. And I did 30 dates in 30 days.
Oh my
and
gosh, that's like a
It was crazy.
like a TV show
Yeah,
now.
it's like, is it
Yeah, I
documented?
know. I
Is
need
it-
to like write a book or something.
think if
Again,
TikTok
I'm
was
lazy.
around then, yeah, you could have done a whole
but
series.
I did a lot. Met a lot of really, really nice people. I'm still friends with them. But in that process, I met a man who is a chef. And I thought, oh my gosh, chefs don't have any money. They work long hours. Do I want to do this? But he was a really good cook and he kept me well fed. And I thought, I'm going to rethink this. So he wanted to open a restaurant. And I said, well, you don't have any money and you're not getting my money. So we were looking at spaces and everything was unaffordable. There were so many barriers to entry to really starting. Great locations were expensive. Cheap locations were exactly that. Cheap, needed work, bad locations. So we formed our company as Doorstep Diner. From our doorstep to yours. We were an upscale, more expensive Meals on Wheels. So we developed meals that met heart, sodium, renal, cancer, whatever affliction a senior would have, we had individually packaged meals for them. So we launched it as a side hustle. We rented a kitchen in Lincoln. We cooked on Saturdays. We delivered on Sundays. And we were like a second set of eyes for the people that had hired us to watch after their parents. And that was growing until one of our clients said, I want you to cater a breakfast. And we said, we're not caterers. We don't have access to our kitchen every day. This is not in our wheelhouse. It's not what we do, because we were both working full time. And this client was incredibly adamant. And we went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And finally, we just gave in because she wore us down. So we catered a breakfast of French pastry tarts for about 85 people. Phone calls started rolling in. Everybody wanted these ridiculous tarts. And so my chef, a couple weeks later, said, I could do more than tarts. So he started selling other items. 3 months after that first catering job, he went part-time where he was cooking. 3 weeks later, he quit.
Wow.
I followed another 7 or 8 months later and quit my job. So it was really quick.
Oh my goodness.
We loved the fact that Lincoln loved what we were doing and that we were different. So we didn't change our brand because, again, I'm lazy. We just added catering, Doorstep Diner Catering, from our doorstep to yours. Our philosophy going into this was we were doing this to have fun. We know that the industry is super hard. You work long hours. It's back-breaking labor. And we thought, we don't want to do that. We want to break the rules. We want to do things fun. We want to take the mystique out of catering. You can go to a lot of websites in town for caterers. They don't have pricing. You have to call them. You don't know if they're quoting you something higher because of your last name or because it's a wedding. I mean, you just don't know. And I'm not going to say that caterers do that, but we chose to be 100% transparent. Our pricing's on our website. We also wanted to have fun with our brand. So our van says nom nom nom, our food is yummy. Our t-shirts have the definition of hangry on them. We wanted people, as they were driving down the street, to look at our van and point and laugh because we want to have fun with food. That's really what it's all about. We didn't want to get lost in the chef shuffle, as I call it, of all the other caterers in Lincoln. And everyone in Lincoln does a great job. They do. We just wanted to be a little different. Yeah. Well, I have my favorites. I do. We eat food at all different types of events. I mean, we've had everyone's food. They've had ours. There's a lot of really good people out there doing fantastic things. We're just one of them. And I love that we are one of them. I love that Lincoln loves us. I think we're really honored that Lincoln has accepted us the way they did. We are the largest female-owned caterer in Lincoln. I'm pursuing the rabbit trail to see if that is the state or not. I can't get that done yet. We have a lot of different philosophies on giving back to the community with charity. Food insecurity is huge for us. So we work a lot with different nonprofits that help funnel our food out to people that really need it. We're known to take care of our employees. We really try to give them a flexible environment. If they have kids, we're flexible on pretty much everything because at the end of the day, these are human beings and we want to treat them really well. So we just wanted to do something different in the market. I kind of hope we've achieved it. I think we have.
Okay.
Word on the streets is you guys are pretty awesome. So.
Well, that's the streets. I don't know where you're hanging out.
Well, Michelle hangs out in the streets.
Yep, apparently.
She'll give you street cred.
Yep.
So, okay. So will you make anything? Do you have a main menu?
We do. So the worst question you can ask a chef or a caterer is, what's your specialty?
Okay.
Because our answer is going to be food. As a caterer, we can make anything. We can make anything you want. My specialty tends to learn into African cuisine, Moroccan cuisine, Mediterranean, Spanish, kind of that whole peninsula and south area is my area of expertise. One of my chefs is from Mexico, so we have some great cuisine coming south of the border. We just kind of bring in a lot of diversity with the different palettes that we have. So we do have a set menu. It is on our website, but I tell people that's a starting point for a conversation. Don't think you're limited in a box on our website because we can make anything you want. Our description that we send out to prospects and clients is we can deconstruct a grape and foam it like the best of them. However, we're not above bringing out pigs in a blanket or Jell-O. It really depends on what your group wants. It really does. So we cover that whole realm. One thing I pride ourselves on is we're Lincoln's only thematic caterer. So if you want a great Gatsby party, we're there in costume. If you want a Boogie Nights party, we're going to come in bell bottoms. We really try to match food to the theme and the intent of the event.
I think we would get along really well. Yeah, I'm a big costumer guy too.
It's super fun, and it's just kind of that wraparound element. I mean, we do a lot of chicken, green beans, and mashed potatoes. So does every caterer in Lincoln. A lot of people order that. It is delicious, don't get me wrong. But when someone trusts me enough to put together a menu, and they say, we trust your expertise, that is like the highlight of my day.
Well, especially if it has a theme. I get that.
Yeah.
That would be, I like that.
Yep, I have a menu that I haven't sold yet. A social studies group came to me statewide and said, we want to do something cool. So I traced the spice route from Turkey all the way up to northwestern Europe with stops along the way with different elements of cuisine. They loved it, and then they ended up ordering chicken, green beans, and mashed potatoes.
Got it. Well,
but I still have that menu. Somebody someday will want that menu. It is amazing. So, yeah, that kind of feeds my soul when people put their trust in me, and I get to be creative. Anything that's going to be a super high-end or creative menu always comes to me.
So you were talking about, like, your staff and everything. Mm-hmm. What kind of staff do you have? Do you make it all in this giant kitchen?
Yeah.
Like, how many chefs are in there? How does this work? Like, I'm trying to envision it in my head on how you make this much food.
It's insane.
And get it to
So currently I have 3 full-time chefs. I have a GM, and then I have a ton of part-timers. I am currently on the hunt for a part-time chef. So if anyone out there is looking, I need a part-time chef. And I also would like about 2 or 3 more full-time or part-timers.
Do not know how to cook at all. So
Yep. So we have some really highly skilled people in our kitchen, and then we have a lot of part-timers that are amazing that help run our banquets, our deliveries, do our prep cook. So, yeah, we have our staff fluctuates. So people ask how many. I'm like, I don't know. Because in season, my banquet servers push me way into the 25, 30 person range. But then in off season, I'm down to my core crew, which might be 14. It just really depends.
Are there venues that like you just have to bring the food, but you don't have to worry about serving it, so it's kind of like a drop off and go thing? Do
Yeah.
you prefer that?
No.
Not prefer? Okay. I can tell by the look on your face you do not prefer that. So
We do not. We don't like to lose control over our food. Once we drop it off somewhere, especially at a different venue or at a large party, we lose control. And so what we find a lot is people will say, we ran out of food. Well, we labeled the pans, we know how many servings, we know how many ounces. Your people overportioned. But that's a really hard one when a client comes back and says, we ran out. Or the food wasn't hot. Well, did the sterno stay lit? I don't know. I wasn't there. So we really like to be there to serve the food. We're the only ones in Lincoln that do a contactless buffet. We started that before COVID. Way before COVID.
Wow.
What we found is when you do a self-serve buffet, you do save on labor with your people, but you have to produce more food. And then again, when people are self-serving, they're picking over the food, they're taking more, the line is dirty. It's hard to break in when people are there to restock. Our pans are heavy, they're hot. Safety is my first priority with my staff and my guests. So we went to a contactless buffet. So when you come to any event with Doorstep Diner Catering that is fully staffed, when you come to the line, you don't see the plates. We have them. We pick it up and we ask, would you like salad? We'll plate the salad. Would you like a dinner roll and butter? We plate that. And then we pass it to our next staff member on our side of the line, who will then say, would you like green beans or whatever it is next? We're extroverts, so it gives us an opportunity to really engage with the client, talk to them about the experience they're having, if they're having fun, compliment them on what they're wearing, talk to the little kids that are there. It's super fun. But we find that we can be super efficient with getting the guests through. We know what it's like to be the last people to be called up to eat. It's terrible. You wait forever.
Yes.
We're pretty quick and efficient with a really high level of service. When we're done serving the last guest, we flip it to self-serve. You can eat as much as you want. We don't care. But that's kind of our protocol, is that we want to serve your guests. We know what catering portions look like. And because food insecurity is so near and dear to my heart, I don't want to throw food away. People tend to take way too much. They can't get through it. They throw it away. My mom raised me that there are starving kids in this world. So we know what a portion is. We portion appropriately. And we tell people, if you're a big eater, come back. Come back. But we're going to start you off with an appropriate portion of food. So, yeah.
Just like my mom would say, finish what's on your plate first, and then you can come back for seconds.
Back. Exactly. Yep.
So what is your most fun event? I kind of want to know like the biggest and the most fun.
Oh my goodness. The biggest event we did was a car show for about 1,400 people.
Holy smokes.
Just do hot dogs and...
No. We did some pretty high-end food for them. Yep. I had a crew of, I think, 30 that helped me out. I get out the door for that and help serve.
Was that here in Lincoln?
It
Or
was here in Lincoln.
And
yeah.
outside, I assume?
Outside, intense. It was enormous. Yep. Enormous. And on that day, we also had other events. Yeah, so we can produce food for quite a few people out of our kitchen. We always try and do the math on how many goes out the door. I would say on a Saturday, we'll do 3 to 4 weddings. So we're pushing 1,000 people easy on a Saturday. When you add a tailgate in, it's going to push it even higher. Yeah, we can produce a lot of food.
Yeah, so size doesn't matter.
No.
Size doesn't matter.
Unless you're talking like
Hear
5
that,
or
Michelle?
7 people,
So-
and we're like, I don't want to fire up the oven for 5 to 7.
Yeah.
But yeah, thousands, not a problem.
But even a tailgate, you just brought up tailgating. So
yeah.
you will do it all.
Yes, everything.
Okay.
Anything with food, I will be there. Well, I might not be there,
Yeah,
but other people with my company will be there.
In your history, which we didn't really get, but have you always been a cook, a chef, or
No. This
foodie?
is the stupidest idea I've ever had. No. I started out my background in marketing and sales. I have a dual degree from the university in marketing and then education. And back when I graduated, and we're not going to give that date, it was very common for women to be pushed into healing fields and helping fields. So my counselor said, you really should look at teaching. And so I did. And I got that second endorsement. I found out I really liked kids. So I started my career with LPS teaching. I also taught at Wesleyan University, marketing, sales, advertising, mostly at LPS. A little bit of that at Wesleyan, not much. And then I left in 2010. which I have great timing on everything. That was a recession. I could not get a job in the field of marketing because they wanted 3 to 5 years experience, and they didn't think that my teaching experience was good enough. I sponsored a club called DECA, which is a worldwide organization. I competed internationally with my kids. They won all the time. I'm like, if I can get my kids to learn and win, I probably can help your company. But that was a huge barrier because the market was just glutted with people looking for work. So I went to a nonprofit, which was super fun, but I think I spent a lot of time sharpening pencils. I was there a couple years, and then I went to an ad agency, and that was super fun. I learned a lot of things that would have helped me as a teacher. And it was at that point where I met this chef, and he wanted to open this thing. And I said, that's fine. I'm not doing any of the cooking. I am not a commercial cook at all. I do not want to chop broccoli for 3 hours. No. There's a special place in hell for me if I were to do that. I'm not going to do it. I will do your menu. I will do all those things. I'll come in and taste and give you an idea of what I'm looking for. But other than that, no. I am out in the field all day long. I'm taking meetings. I'm looking at sales. I'm prospecting.
Yeah, you're basically the
That's
face
me.
of the company.
Yeah, that's me. Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know each other.
Yeah.
But I know of you.
Scary.
You know. But it's all
Scary.
it's very good. It's all
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
And now meeting you are just the sweetest thing so far. So it's almost
lies.
scary. So
Yeah, we tried to kind of position it where we focused more on our staff. We really wanted to do that. But at the end of the day, they're in the kitchen cooking. I'm the one in the community. So even though we really would talk highly and promote our staff, it's my face, you see. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So what would be the most fun event then?
oh my goodness. Our Rockabilly event down at the Del Rey Ballroom, we had a client, and this was in our early days where we were still renting a kitchen off-site. And so we didn't have a tasting room. So they came to my home and they said, we want this Rockabilly vision. We're hiring a Rockabilly band. This is what we're doing.
Joe, this would be right up your alley.
I'll put on my
It was
my
so
boots
much
and a
fun.
leather jacket, slick
So
back
much
the
fun.
hair.
So we pitched a menu, and they kind of had an idea of what they wanted, but we put our own twist on it. So they wanted like cheeseburger sliders. They became chubby checker cheeseburger
Oh my
sliders,
gosh.
and they had chipotle ketchup. I mean, they were upscale. They wanted, I think, mac and cheese, and that became Boost and whatever the other. Bullwinkle, I don't even know anymore. But so we named everything with really iconic things in that Rockabilly era. We did dress up all in Rockabilly. We used big record players for the place cards for all the menu items. The band that played was Geraldo Mesa's band, so we actually named a sauce after his band.
Oh, awesome.
When they came for their tasting, it was at my house. We were dressed up in Rockabilly. We had guitar picks all over the table. We had music playing. And they said, you were the only caterer that wrapped your arms around our theme. So that was probably my favorite event to date because it just, all the elements came together and they came together perfectly and it was so much fun. So,
Have you ever had any go wrong?
of course. I'm
So
very,
nonchalant.
I'm going to tell you, I'm really proud of the 2 1-star reviews I have. I am
Oh.
incredibly proud of my 1-star reviews. One of them really wasn't our fault. The other one kind of was. But people go read them because never trust anyone that just puts up 5 stars. I mean, just never. You got to look at the good and the bad. And it's all in how you handle it. And
It is. We were going
Yeah.
to do a segment on all of our guests that we read their bad reviews
yep,
to them,
yep,
but
yep.
we realized that some people do not want to
you know,
about.
I'm okay with it. You know, when I have an unhappy
It was just
client,
me.
it's my job to talk to him. It's
You
my
can't
job.
please everybody. There's always going to
no,
be those
No, I had a lady that complained about a $7 salad yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars, you have some pretty high expectations. And if I haven't executed at 110%, I need to own that. And I need to spend time talking with them to figure out what exactly happened. One of my 1-star reviews, it was a fabulous wedding. The venue was overseated. We could not physically get to guests to plate their meal. They delayed service by 45 minutes with salmon. So we were trying to rush service to get food out before it was compromised. They kept interrupting for announcements. So my servers were standing there and they couldn't cross in front of where the announcements were. There were so many factors that came into play that really weren't on us. But at the end of the day, if the client's not happy and the food's not good, then we need to have discussion about it. So that's the 1-star review I'm the most proud of. And the girl even said, do you want me to take it down? And I said, nope, I don't. I don't, because this is really what happened. So, yeah. So, yeah, we've had some stinkers. Very few, thank God, very few. A lot of them, again, if someone's unhappy, it's going to be because they feel like they've ordered something and they didn't receive it. Again, it's usually quantity. When you go to a buffet at a wedding or an event, it is not an all-you-can-eat buffet. And the buffet line legally is not going to stay open for 7 hours. It's not. So those are some of the things that come in of,
Weddings are already a stressful situation.
They are.
And you already have
Yeah.
the people,
Yeah.
the families are stressed.
They are.
You got the bridezillas.
Brides are awesome.
You got the moms of the
Moms are normally awesome.
yes
95% are awesome.
Everybody's awesome.
You know,
for
it
Laurie Ann,
comes.
but
Yeah, it comes back to education and setting expectations at the very, very beginning. And when the problem happens, it's normally a committee. Just because committees, you have too much communication and too many people moving and too many pieces, and someone's communicating here. And I was in a group thread where someone said, "When is the caterer coming?" I think noon. Oh, I think 1 o'clock. I think 11. Stop. I'm going to be there a half an hour before your event. You don't want me there 4 hours early. You don't want your food sitting
you're
there.
not in the pictures.
Yeah, so we really prefer one point person, and if it's a wedding, it is the contract signer. That might be mom, it might be the bride, but when someone else gets involved, it muddles the communication. I will talk to anyone, I will answer questions, I'll give advice, but at the end of the day, I won't make any changes unless it comes from the contract signer. That is just my policy anymore. So that's really, really helped. But I mean, like any industry, it boils down to communication, and if you are educating your clients on what you can do, what you need from them, and you're setting those expectations, everything is fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Knock wood.
And so obviously that's going well.
Yeah.
It's been going well. And then you're like, I should buy country sliced ham.
Yes.
So, oh, okay.
No,
perfect.
I'm kidding.
And then,
No.
like, how did that come about then? On purpose, accident?
It was an accident. I got a good friend who's a business broker, and he called me up and he said, "Hey, I got an opportunity for you. Do you want to sign the non-disclosure?" And I went, "Ugh, whatever." And I signed it, and I looked at it, and I thought, well, it's pretty small, but it's profitable. There's no risk. So
Had you been there in?
Never.
Oh, okay.
Never.
Never. Mm-mm.
Never?
No, I'd never been there. So I ran it by
I
accountants.
grew up in that area.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I went there a lot.
No clue. I mean,
and then there was Omaha Steaks was right there. And
Yeah.
they would give out free burgers on like Saturday.
Yep.
So
I had driven by it. I had never been in. Yeah. So I ran it by accountants. I ran it by lawyers. They said, "Looks good to us. It's profitable. The books look really healthy." So we bought it in 10 days. It was a short sale. And we took possession of it. And we had 1 day with the owners to kind of transfer everything over. They gave us 3 months in the buy-sell agreement, but we didn't really need them. And it was I don't know, it was kind of exciting. It was kind of fun. Yeah, and I had never run that side of it, but I had someone else on my team that had extensive experience in quick serve. And so they're like, "I gotcha, I'm running the place." So they did. Yeah, and now I do.
that's That's still got to be kind of hard to go into something that's
Yeah.
been around that long. They're all set in their ways. The customers, which I assume is kind of like a following,
It is.
are set in their ways.
Yep.
So
Did you get to keep staff?
We did not keep any of their stuff.
Okay.
No. They only had one young lady, and she was actually in there also baking. And so she was looking to move somewhere else. So we brought in all of our own people.
Gotcha.
It is really a staff of one. It's tiny. We do work with Mosaic. I don't know if you're familiar, but they're a nonprofit that works with adults with disabilities.
Okay.
And they look for employment opportunities. So we have a young lady with us. Oh my gosh, I think she's going on 3 years with us. So it's like a staff of 1.5 over there. It's really small.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I think our clients liked the remodel. It was all brown and had lots of red checkered tablecloths and wood from the 80s and gold framed things of pigs, and we just blew it out. It's all white and black and green now. Well, like I said, we revamped the menu. We kept some of the favorites. I would say the biggest piece of resistance that we had is that the previous owners, all the way probably back to the beginning of time, loved coupons. I'm not a couponer. I'm not a couponer. I think my biggest irk about the restaurant industry is we're training people to look for deals. Food costs money. Labor costs money. Margins are super slim. Yet you can go anywhere in this town and it's kids eat free. Buy one, get one. Get a free this on your birthday. Constantly we're giving things away. So when people call me up and they're like, "Hey, do you have a discount for this?" I'm like, "Where do you work?" "Oh, State Farm." "Do I get a discount on my insurance?" I do not. "Do I get a discount at my dentist?" I do not. But we've trained people in the food industry to always look for discounts, always. So we eliminated the coupons right away. And we had older people that were coming in with a buy one, get one, and they would buy the least expensive thing on the menu which was a grilled cheese sandwich, which I think when we took it over was priced at $3.25. Ridiculous. So we're pumping out this food and this labor, and we're just losing money. So the first thing we did was get rid of coupons, and we did hear about that. But they still came back.
Yeah.
They just wanted the coupon. The other thing is that we have a competitor who used to be in Lincoln in the 80s and 90s. They are no longer here, but they run coupons in our local paper. So during holiday season, people will walk in with their coupon from the competitor thinking it's us, and it's like, well, that's in Omaha. Well, will you honor it? We will not.
You want
We will
They
not.
know damn well what they're doing when they go in there with that
We are not a
coupon.
Bed Bath & Beyond or a Hobby Lobby or whoever else that honors coupons from some. We just don't do it. At the end of the day, I think that we provide a lot of value. We provide great service. We have great food. And because of that, we need to price accordingly. That's all there is to it.
No, fair enough.
You can't go to McDonald's across the street for what, less than $12? So why would you come to my place for
go anywhere.
a salad? My salads are about $9 with protein.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
ridiculously
go to Whole
cheap.
Foods and
Yeah.
you do the
Solid.
weight
Yeah.
thing, and it's like, oh,
Exactly, it's expensive.
Didn't think that was that very big.
So we provide a high quality product at a very reasonable price over at Country Sliced Ham. So yeah, I do not discount.
What are your hours at Country Sliced Ham?
Really limited, 10 to 2:30,
Okay.
Monday through Friday. We used to be open later. We found that we just burned payroll after about 1:30, 2 o'clock. It was dead, and we were closing at 6, and it was just too slim for dinner. And it's sandwiches. People didn't really want to go there for dinner, so we just shrunk it down. Actually, sales went up. So
So
we were
no
excited.
weekends?
Now, malls don't get walk-by traffic like they used to.
Yeah.
So we would, it was never open on the weekends, but when we were renovating and we would be there on weekends, we might have one person come by the door and go, "Are you open?" "No, but we'll make you a sandwich." But again, you've got to look at your payroll and who's coming on weekends, and they're just not there. So, yeah.
Okay. Let's move to your oh shit moments.
Oh, shit.
Oh, see? Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh no! Now Chris is gonna want what's the button called? The sound effects button.
I've got one.
Oh shit!
I love
Oh,
it.
that's what we got. All right. Oh, next episode. So
Oh, shit moments.
let's start with the good. So what is the? You can pick either one. What is your oh shit moment? Like oh shit, especially probably the catering thing, where you're like that 1,400 person thing, kind of like that, where you're like oh shit, this is gonna work. Or
Those are
maybe
no
that time
shits.
where you knew you could quit your job and
Yeah.
do it full time. Your Jerry Maguire get in the car moment.
Oh my goodness. So, oh shit, bad. I'll start with that. 'cause
I
don't
didn't say we're starting with that, Laurie.
No, we go with bad first. Then we're going to end on positive. That's what people will remember.
Oh, is that what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, oh shit, bad is when
I'm gonna
you
hold on,
roll
let me
into
write
the
that down.
kitchen
Oh shit,
and a
bad
client
first.
thinks they've confirmed for the day and they have not. That's an oh shit moment. We have never canceled on a client ever. I do get phone calls all the time saying my caterer canceled, my caterer can't do this. We're usually the ones that will pick up the ball and run with it. I do get those calls, and it's sad because they're crying, and I'm like, if I can help them, I can. But we have had those moments where someone's like, hey, we were supposed to have a delivery, and we're like, you're not in the calendar, and we'll go back through. We do everything in email, all of our confirmations, everything as a paper trail. Everything, even if you call me, I'm going to type up notes and I'm going to send them back to you. We always have a paper trail. So we'll go back and say, you're not on our calendar, but this is what I got on hand. I can be there in 30 minutes, but this is what I got. So we do a lot of like save the day things for the oh shit moments. Have they been on us where something's on the calendar and we're like, oh crap, we missed it? Yes, that's happened. But again, we have never not executed, ever. We are really, really lucky that we are next door to Super Saver. You don't want to see my bills over there. But we're really lucky that they're next
Yeah,
door.
if you come
because-
running in there like,
yes, in a
Lori
pinch,
did
we
it.
can run next door. We did have a calendar mishap where 4 events on a certain day in February got moved to the next week. We have no idea what happened. It was like the 20th. They all moved to the 27th. We got a phone call at 7:30 a.m. from a client saying, hey, we did a Hail Mary to all of our staff. We ran in. We cooked like banshees. We said, we'll be there in an hour. And they said, okay, we'll change our program around. We were actually there in 40 minutes. 40 minutes. So, yes, we've had some oh shit moments
Holy
that,
smokes.
that
That's
are
good, though.
stressful.
Yeah, that's-
But we like I said, we've never canceled. We've always executed. Our oh shit good moments, I don't know. There's a lot of those. I would say 95% of the time I absolutely love what I do. The 5% of their oh shit bad things. But the rest of it is really good. again, I mean, I think for me, I don't have a lot of interaction with our clients on the phone I do, when I'm out networking I do, but I don't really go to a lot of the events. So for me, the oh shit good moment is when I go to the event and I see my team in full swing and I see the clients and everyone's happy.
And you're just sitting back.
I'm sitting back watching, taking photos. My oh shit good moments are when we do a lot of retention, when we get really good feedback from clients. I mean, that's fantastic. I love that. My oh shit good moments are when my staff is coming in happy and they want to be there. And when they leave for the end of the day,
That's
they're
always
like,
nice.
we love it here.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
what
oh,
it's like
thank
here.
God. Yeah. Yep. I mean, we've got a lot of really happy, upbeat people, and that makes me happy. So, yeah. So a lot of people wake up on Mondays and they're like, case of the Mondays. I'm like, Mondays are a gift. Mondays are a beautiful day because I get to go and feed my soul with these amazing humans that I'm responsible for. I got to make payroll. I got to help them pay their bills and go on vacation and do all the things they want to do. So Mondays are super motivating. I absolutely love them.
Still have the teacher inside of you.
Yes, I do. Yeah, and when I roll in on a Monday and they're rolling in and those ovens are firing up and it smells good, it just like, I don't know, feeds my soul. Yeah.
It's all in the way you said it.
Yeah.
I get to.
I get to.
I have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He wants to hear
you can
that.
tell you genuinely
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I love
love
get
it.
your
to go.
job.
I love it.
Yeah.
And when people say, oh, did you always want to be a caterer? No, I did not. But I like selling and marketing,
Yeah,
catering.
and you get to do that and live your dream.
I love going out to have coffee 5 times a day. That's super awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
you did say you didn't want to be a cook at all.
No.
But you also said that you now are really good with, recipes and things. And what part of the journey did you start getting more involved with the cooking side?
So I was really blessed to have parents that worked for United Airlines. So as a child, we lived in San Francisco and then for a short period in Chicago. So we had access to major airports. So my parents were famous for yanking me out of school and taking me overseas. So as a child, I was taught you try everything on your plate. You don't have to eat it all, but you try it. So I think I developed a really nice palate at an early age. So when people come to me and they talk about like the Middle East or Turkish food, I'm like, I've been there. I know what it smells like. I know what it tastes like. I know how it's presented. I know what breakfast looks like. I know I need 30 little bowls. So, I think I bring just that experience from traveling. And then I'm a phenomenal home cook. Love it. I haven't cooked in years because obviously I date a chef. But when it is my turn to cook, my timing is off, but everything else is still there. So I think that I bring that to the company in more of the sense of my palate. So when I'm designing a custom menu and I'm like, we're going to do pumpkin falafel, and my chef is like, excuse me? I'm like, yeah, and it needs to taste like this. Or if they're putting together a sauce, I'm like, it needs a little bit more heat on the back end. I don't know what that heat is. They do. But I'll tell them I need to have a finish that has this. Or when I first take it, I want to have this bite on the front of the palate and then this finish on it. They know how to get me there.
Amazing.
So that's kind of my realm. I mean, I'll put it together. I did write a menu all in French, and then my chefs got mad at me because they're like, we don't know what this is. I'm like, Google. Yeah. Cornichon, little pickle, So, yeah.
Okay.
You're just full of tricks. It's like something new. Everything we ask you has a whole new story and a whole background.
Yeah.
Amazing.
With such a good
I'm making it
tone
all up.
to
No.
it. Yeah. We'll go with it, So, Joe,
Our final segment, we like to. Did I say that right? Segment. All
I
right.
said it better than last time.
Oh, good.
I said
Our final segment. We like to ask our guests what you like to do in Lincoln. What
sure.
for fun. What your restaurants you like to go to.
I would say live music definitely is where I'm at. I'm also a musician. I'm a singer-songwriter.
Oh my gosh!
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
The first song I ever learned to play was Smelly Cat from Friends, so there is that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
funny.
very, very talented.
You could play that at Country Sliced Ham over lunch.
Sometimes. I'm really a big fan of the Zoo Bar. I love the history of the Zoo Bar. I love the atmosphere of the Zoo Bar. I love that it's not full of 20-year-olds that don't know where their arms and legs extend and go. I like the environment that they've created there, and I love the caliber of musicians that come in. So you can find me down there. I like going to festivals. But music is pretty much my jam. I'm kind of a hippie on the weekends, so I'm really into nature. I like going on hikes. I don't do a lot of that anymore, but being outside is kind of my thing. Cooking at home. In terms of restaurants, I will tell you, I used to weigh over 300 pounds, and so I had to quit eating out. So I haven't
Oh, my
really eaten
goodness.
out very often. And when I do eat out, I'm on the hunt for a good salad. But I would say prior to that, and this is so sad, 9 South Char Grill was my go-to.
Yep.
It was amazing. I love the owner. I love the staff. It was just consistent, and I loved it. They had great price points, high-quality food, and I could get an amazing salad there. Right now, I'm going to say it, the best salad in town, outside of Countryside Ham and Cafe, of course, is at Layton's Pub at 40th and Layton. They have a buffalo chicken salad that's off the charts. I have it about once a week. I do not live close to it, but I will make the trek just
I have not
for that
been there.
I
salad.
haven't been there either.
I'll give that
I
a
haven't
shot.
had any other thing there, so I cannot attest to anything. I'm sure it's delightful, but their salad is amazing. Other than that, when you talk to people in the restaurant industry, you expect us to say, queso bovina and momos. And I tell you what, we like scrambled eggs. We like hamburgers because we see high-end food every single day. Every single day. So we really, when we go out, we like comfort food. I mean, we like Penelope's. We think they're great for breakfast. We like Cook's Café. I mean, we kind of like that stuff that you could make at home, but we just don't want to because we're tired of cooking. So,
Yeah, no, I totally
yeah,
get that. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I do like Single Barrel for a good steak, though. They're delicious. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Awesome.
I miss 9 Street Grill.
It's a Mexican restaurant now.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Is it Mexican or
I have
Guatemalan?
not- I have
It's
not been there.
actually Salvadorian.
Salvadorian.
Okay.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah,
I've seen the sign, but I have not stopped by.
Bean
yet. That is
pupusas
on my
are
list.
good.
Yeah, yeah. It looks delicious, but again, it's full of carbs and. Yeah. This girl doesn't eat a lot of carbs anyway.
I do. I'll try it for you. I'll let you know how it goes.
Perfect.
But thank you so much for coming in and being.
Thanks for having me. This was super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Go eat some good food.